Members, I'd like to speak in support of my resolution, and particularly to note some of what has been said and what has been pushed onto your desks. This area is already a noted protected area. This area is federal forest. This area is already receiving protections. It's already receiving visitors. But it's not wilderness. And to designate it wilderness is not really an honest designation. Even a few years ago, the United States federal government said that this land was not suitable for the wilderness designation. So why is it being pushed on us? Why is this group receiving a large amount of its funding from outside of the state of Michigan pushing to have this land declared to be wilderness? It's not virgin timber. It's not somehow timber land that hasn't been managed in the past. And yet, you'll see right within the push to do this, well, we need to protect the wonderful biodiversity and animals and opportunities that are there. Yet those items are already there under the current system. So how are we enhancing this by changing this designation? What we do is we lose the opportunity to manage it as well as we're doing right now. We lose the opportunity to manage the forest through commercial enterprise, something that's not just good for the forest, but good for the economy of the Upper Peninsula. Instead, you get a letter here that says, well, logging and mining are receding industries, so we should do this instead. Maybe those industries are receding because people like this continue to make it more and more difficult for those industries to continue. Come to some of my communities and walk into one of the old high schools and look at the graduation classes and watch how they drop from 150 to 100 to 70 to 50 to now in one of these towns here in this area, they're lucky to graduate 15 people because of all of this purchase and buying up of lands and the restrictions that the feds continue to put on the federal forest land. If I could, I'd get this out of the federal forest land already. Why put it more restrictive than it already is? It's going to restrict our opportunity for future enjoyment of building different trails and other opportunities as well. It only allowed status quo. And when I met with these groups to discuss this issue, they made it very clear that the only significant difference that would happen in their minds in this designation is going from hardly ever cutting trees to never cutting trees. And that's just not acceptable for the people of the Upper Peninsula who continue to need resource-based economics in order to let our communities survive. I encourage you to vote yes. Thank you.